3:17. All right. It is 3:17 p.m. And before I get into my podcast, I want to thank Blackstone Labs for sponsoring this podcast. And you can get 20% off your entire order at blackstonelabs.com. That is 20% off your entire order. Look, you're trying to get jacked, you're trying to get shredded, you're trying to put on muscle, you're trying to lose weight, trying to gain weight. Whatever it is you're trying to do, Blackstone Labs can help you. You can get 20% off your entire order at blackstonelabs.com. Just use promo code B4Power at checkout and get yourself hooked the fuck up. Once again, that's blackstonelabs.com, B4Power at checkout. Get yourself hooked the fuck up. Also, too, CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. That is CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. No job too big, no job too small. Residential, commercial, it does not fucking matter. They will take care of you. Just mention the angry motherfucking dad, and they'll take care of you. That is CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco area. All right, now that's all out of the way. I like to say and introduce, I have my brother from another mother. I have DJ, the inimitable DJ. When you hear that, like I said it.
I'll give you $100 if you can tell me what that means.
Oh, it means unique and one of a kind.
Yes. Your PayPal is in the mail.
And this is I want to get it correct because I keep saying it fucking wrong. Let me just look it up on my phone real quick because I'm a fucking idiot. Because I want to get it right because this is this is episode 400. You hear that? 400. That I needed to get somebody on here that makes me laugh. I have a good time with. It makes me yell at my phone during trivia. And I just needed to get him on. All right, and this is DJ. Like I said, the untrained eye, also dragging the table or table dragger at Instagram and on Twitter.
Yeah, it's funny because you do the thing where untrained iPod, that ended up being the one that I could get on one platform. So I was like, okay, if I can get it on all the rest, that's just what it's going to be everywhere. And the same thing with dragging the table. I was like, well, I don't know. And you know what's funny? Dragging the table, I really want to change the name of that show so bad. I just did. That whole show was supposed to be I don't know, just my spot to go and try different stuff that would eventually be implemented on the untrained eye. And now it's kind of turned into its own thing. And I don't do you have any idea what dragging the table means at all?
I don't know why that keeps happening. Right in the middle of my recording. Love, I'm making a podcast. I'll call you back. All right. It just happens like that. That's staying in. I don't edit shit. It's on the fucking fly. All of a sudden, as soon as I do a podcast, the fucking planes want to drive by. Airplanes want to go. Ice maker wants to make ice. Dishwasher starts beeping. That's just the name of the game of my fucking podcast. I just swear to fucking God. That's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Is what it fucking is.
Dude, it's funny because I haven't had much time to record lately, other than the untrained eye, but I was so mad the other day because I told the lady in the office, I was in a rush and I told her, I'm like, all right, if you don't have anything for me, I got to go because I'm waiting for UPS because I didn't know I was going to have to sign for a package, but I got to go because I got to sign for it. And I'm leaving. And she starts telling me a story about how she had to I once had to wait and sign for a package. And I felt so bad because she's like, it's kind of a sob story. So I couldn't really. And again, she's the lady in the office. I have to see her every day.
Every day.
So I have to find the nicest way to be like, hey, can you please shut your yap and let me go?
Hey, and this is what I'll tell you. I look like an asshole. I act like an asshole. And so there's no other reason to expect me not to be an asshole. I'm to the point. I'm very abrupt. I will let you know, check it the fuck out. Unless I care for the person, like my family, I'll listen to that story and be a little late. But anybody fucking else, I'll see you fucking later. You know what I mean? That's just how that goes.
Listen, I mean, in any other, this is the same lady that 2 weeks ago, she was telling me about another employee that I didn't want to, I just didn't even want to deal with it. And I told her, I was like, there's nothing I can do. You're not going to do anything. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And she continues to tell me. And so I just stopped her. I was like, hey, I'm leaving because I told you I didn't want to hear this anymore. goodbye. And she wouldn't talk to me for like 2 days after that.
Hey, man. And people think that hurts you, and it's like I could give a fuck less because I don't even really want to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, at work, I have to be professional, but it doesn't say I have to be courteous or fucking kind. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is be here, do my fucking job, and not worry the fuck about anybody else.
I feel like it's the common complaint, but it's so poignant always because we are in the service industry, we are not in the we are going to become friends industry.
Oh. You know, it sometimes when I speak like this, people are like, but I was like, look, we are work associates. I do not talk to you outside of work. I do not communicate with you at work. I do not hang out with you outside of work. I am being like accommodable. I'm being fucking, what the fuck's the word when you're just like, I'm being nice for the sake of being fucking nice. You know what I'm saying? That is it. I will listen to your fucking story when I have time. But the one thing I always tell people is I have the ability to concentrate at one thing at a time. So do not talk to me while I work. And people are like, well, what do you mean? I was like, once I start engaging in the conversation, I'm not going to work. And I work in a job where I got to be concentrating it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I get in trouble if I don't scan shit or if I miss shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's not on you, it's on me. So as I'm working and people I work with, because for those who don't know, I do work at Costco. I am a cashier, and people come in my line specifically because they know I don't fuck around. I'm like in a fucking out. You know what I'm saying? People like working with me because all I do is work fast. I only have one mode of speed, and that's get shit done. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It just is what
it definitely is what it is, because like part of the people, I am the worst guy to work for because like especially at my job, like I would say I know 98% of what needs to be done and what I need someone else to do if they're working with me. So if I tell someone, hey, I need you to do this, this, and this in this order, and that doesn't happen, we are going to have words immediately.
Yes.
Immediately. I can't deal with it.
Oh, no, it's the same. It's one of the reasons why my bosses like me so much, because I tell them all the time, I'm look, you need to be very specific on what you need me to do, because that's exactly how it's going to get done. If you leave me to my own devices, I'm going to get it done the way I feel it needs to be done, plain and simple. But if you need it in a specific order, if you do not say this to me, guess what's not going to fucking happen? And they're like, well, but I'm like, I'm just letting you know now. You know what I'm saying? And, I've raised through the ranks of the Costco's of having so many positions, but it's because they're always like, I wish I had 10 of you to do this. It'd make my life so much easier. I'm like, well, you only have fucking me, and I need direction. I need a finger pointed in that way. And guess what I'm going to fucking do? You ain't going to hear shit from me. You ain't going to hear any questions from me. I'm just here to fucking do my job so I can get the fuck out of here.
That is some of the guys I work with. I don't understand, because I'm like, dude, we are not here because they're talking about like we get paid more than minimum wage. But then all of a sudden they're like, oh, man, I don't like this guy because he doesn't tip. And I'm like, hey, bro, like the tip is extra. Yeah. They don't have to tip you.
Yeah, no one has to tip you.
Do the job and then just go home. They're like, well, I'm trying to get my hours. Like, why would you want to be here longer?
Yeah, exactly.
Do what you got to do and dip.
Exactly. I was a truck driver for 4 years for Costco, and I could literally get a 12-hour day done in 4 to 5 hours. And then guess the fuck what I would do for the rest of the day, because they were like, all right, just kind of do whatever. I'd go to the store, I'd go shopping, I'd sit down and have lunch. I would literally have all my work done. I would start at 6, be done around 12 or before 12, and then just bullshit the rest of the fucking day and then drive fucking home. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, the people were like, but how are you? I'm like, it's because I'm not a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to stop. I don't want to do whatever. I want to get this done and just be out, collect my check, and go on to my actual life.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons I love Costco so much, because they give me the ability to, this is my job, and then I can do whatever else I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I could literally, once I clock out, there is nothing tethering me to this fucking place until I come back the next fucking day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh.
Dude, it's amazing.
It is amazing. It is amazing. People cry and bitch and complain all the time. Like, well, I'm like, we're working an 8-hour fucking job. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I've said it many a times. For 10 years, I worked 4 12s. 10 years, 412s, mandatory 412s, all right? In the most brutalist, hardcorest fucking job in the fucking world. I used to make ductile iron pipe from molted iron. You know what I'm saying? I've been burned, I've been stabbed, I've had my finger crushed off. I fucking, I've had pieces of metal jammed straight through my body. I've almost been covered in 10 tons of iron. And I start at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 100 degrees all day long. And I got to be in specialty gear all day long. And working an 8-hour job compared to that, oh my fucking God. It's like heaven. It's like heaven. No stress, no physical labor for me. I'm like, you guys don't know what it means to fucking work. All right?
Yeah, that is really truly it. Like, I've been in and out, nowhere near that, but in and out of construction, my whole life. And anytime, like, when I had gotten laid off, I worked at Walmart for 2 or 3 months. And man, it was hilarious because I'm used to when I was doing construction, like building pools, they would give me a blueprint and say, here you go off and do all the plumbing, do all the forming, do what you got to do. So I'm like, okay, I know how to go and make a plan and do the thing. And we're going to do it this way. And this is the most efficient way to do it. Let's go.
Yep.
I go to Walmart and I'm like, they're like, all right, man,
figure it out.
All this stuff, basically.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, is there a map where I can not just know where my stuff goes, but I can just look at and tell customers, if they ask me something, I can tell them where to go. And the guy's like, no, we really don't. He's like, it's always changing. So we just never make anything like that. And I'm like, I will tell you this, it made me more sympathetic to people that work at places like that, because you're like, well, this guy's just an idiot. He doesn't know where anything is. No, he's not. No one's helping him.
Yeah, nobody. Nobody. He might be lucky and be able to answer the question. Like I said, I work for Costco, but I do not represent Costco. But I get just like he said, hey, where is this? What is this? If you say anything confidently enough, they'll believe you. So a lot of times when I get people like, hey, I didn't see this, we don't have it. I'm sorry. And they're like, oh, okay. And then guess what? Questions are dropped. They don't ask for nothing else, and then they either check out or they keep shopping. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know nothing because I'm up here all day long.
But also, in fairness to them, who's going to really argue with you? Have you ever had someone really talk back to you at work or really anywhere?
Nah. In work, no one's ever talked to me. They'll just complain to the manager. Manager walk up to me like, Ben, you're my best employee. I don't worry. I'm not caring what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? But no one's ever said anything to me. But every so often, I come across at least one or two crazy people that are willing to go it that far. But then at the end of the day, they don't understand that because as a tall person, certain people will think, oh, he can't fight, he can't do this. I'm like, I've been through the grinder of life. Two things are about to happen. You know what I'm saying? You're about to either walk away or get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? As I've learned to fight. I'm a 2nd-degree black belt in karate. When karate first fucking came out, you know what I'm saying? I was a fucking collegiate champion in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, I've literally been taught the Marine style combat. All right. I 2 years of Marine style combat on how to fucking disable and take someone out right the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? I'm well-versed. And on top of two, I know how to box. My best friend's dad, my best friend's dad's uncle was a Golden Gloves boxer. So guess what we used to do all summer long?
Just beat the crap out of each other.
Yes. Yes. So, you know what I'm saying? It's funny as hell because my wife saw, you why don't you ever have any type of fear of anything? It's because I know, all right, this guy might be trained. He might know how to fight. Well, so do I. You know what I'm saying? And it's even more crazy too because it's because of how I grown up and because I grew up in the hood, bro. Shit, everybody fights dirty. Nobody fights clean. It's not rules. There's no ref. So I will eat. Did you know that eyes don't pop? You have to pull them out. You know what I'm saying? You can't pop an eye at all. So if you stick your thumb in somebody's eye, guess what? You got to pull it out. You can't just push it in expecting it to pop. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem biting off somebody's nose. I have no problem biting off somebody's ear in any kind of, like I said, as low as they'll go, understand that I'll go lower. I will pick something up and smash him in the face with it with no fucking regret.
And that's the thing is I don't think people really, because you don't have to look like you to be that guy. You know what I mean? That guy just exists. There is no shape to that. It is just a thing that is in some people. And that is the thing. Like, I've told you the story, and I've told the story before of like, there was a guy that was honking at us and like two other girls, and we were walking like to go up into Target or something. And I turned around to yell at this dude and immediately saw face tattoos, all the windows down. It's the dead of summer. So I'm like, okay, this guy has nothing to lose. His car is crap. If I say one word to him, I'm going to get punched in the face as hard as I've ever been punched. And I just looked back at him and just pointed like, hey, man, sorry I was in your way, and moved on over to the side.
and people with common sense can assess that. You know what I'm saying? That's that one thing, you know what I'm saying? The majority of people will understand it. You know what I'm saying? I've been suburbanized now. I always joke with my wife about it, how like, you know, she pulled me out of the hood. And now I live in the suburban life. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with my kids, like I said, we lived in the hood the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So they understand. But when I came here to live in the suburbs of where I'm at now, it's like, I am now a you know, dad bod, suburbanized, hi to my neighbors, everyone's okay. And you know what I'm saying? And like, I catch myself dressing a certain way where I'm not like wearing like Dickies and fucking Ben Davis shirts and fucking, you know what I mean? I'm not loped up all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing, you know, like right now, I got a sleeveless shirt on. That's basically what I wear all day long. And I wear shorts. Sometimes I wear flip flops. And you know what I'm saying? I know I still look a certain way, but I don't feel like I'm being that way anymore.
So how is it there now in California? Or is everything, you know, still not, everything's not still on fire still, right?
No. We had a couple of little fires after, well, like I live in the Northern Bay Area. So like the majority of the fires that were happening were all in the LA area. But where I live, I'm literally within the fire danger zone, but I'm right on the outside of that fire danger zone. You know what I'm saying? So like I live in Fairfield. The next town over is Vacaville. That's where they had that big Berryessa fire where it literally, they couldn't control it for like a month.
Like you opened your door to hell with that.
Exactly. That exactly. Yeah. Like I was literally I woke up. I normally wake up pretty early. I'm drinking coffee. And I'm like, man, it's really fucking dark outside. So I'm like not even paying attention to the time. And then my wife saw, it's like literally 8:00. Why didn't you wake Anthony up for school? And I'm like, oh shit, because I normally wake him up at 7:30. You know what I'm saying? So like I didn't think nothing of it. And then as soon as I go wake him up, the sun starts popping up and it's fucking like murder red. And it was like that all day long. I was like, are you fucking serious? Look at this shit. It looks like the apocalypse is happening. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking crazy.
So after the election, did everything just open back up?
No,
we
are still closed down because I don't know about you guys, but we have a color code system, and purple is the highest color system. Mm-hmm. We got out of purple. We're in red, but they're already making that transition to putting us back into purple because we're having a complete resurgence of the whole coronavirus. I've been tested 5 times for corona, and you know what I'm saying? I've fucking clean every fucking time, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you have to get tested if you have some fucking symptoms, and no one wants to hear shit about it. So fucking, it's like,
well, you do come in contact with how many people a day?
Oh man, at least over 1,000 people a day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I get a little cough, I get a little what's called, and you know, I have heart issues, and with that heart issue, if I even email my doctor, go get a corona test. You know what I'm saying?
So is there any, like, because by the way, in Florida, it's just been pretty much a free for all the whole time. Like now it went from like 2 weeks ago, I went into a convenience store and nobody was wearing masks in there. And it was only one convenience store. Now I just go in places and people just aren't wearing masks like crazy now. They're just like, whatever, dude, it's over.
Not us. We're no mask, no service. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes. You know, people will go into the store, pull off their mask, but you know, I don't get paid enough to tell anybody anything. So it's not my fucking job. You know what I'm saying? If someone wants to say something, go right the fucking head. That's above my pay grade. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had people at work be like, oh, you need to tell. I was like, like, see that guy holding that computer board over there? Go let him know that. You know what I'm saying? It's out of my realm. I'm not dealing with anybody's bullshit. But yeah, we're still. All I want to do is sit down in a restaurant and enjoy some food. That's one of my favorite things to do. I'm the kind of dad where, guess the fuck what? We're going out to eat. I want food so hot it burns my mouth, and I'm gonna burn my mouth because I don't care how hot it is, because that's just how I am. And I want to sit there to enjoy my food and listen to my kids complain about, can't we just eat at home? I'm like, nope, I'm here to enjoy.
Well, and that is the cool thing, is like, it was me and Beth's our 10th anniversary a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. It was like, we were able to go out. It was fine. You know, it's that weird thing where you have to wear a mask in and you go sit down and you take it off and you talk and you do whatever. If you get up and go to the bathroom, you have to put it on, but then you sit back down and take it back off and you're fine. So it's, well, fine is relative, I guess. But it's, yeah. So that's been the nice thing of like, oh, okay, like maybe we can actually start going out to eat again. But is there any, like, do they tell you guys, like, how, if there's any, like, prospect of a timeline of you opening back up again? Is there, like, a threshold that has to be met, or?
No timeline, there's a certain amount, like, in the color-coded thing, there's a certain amount of tests that need to be done. And if it's below that number, whatever the number is, because I don't even fucking check anymore, you know what I'm saying? I just, like, my wife's like, are we out of the red yet? And or did we go back to purple? And I'm like, you know, I didn't even bother looking. I'm like, I don't know. It's still the fucking same. Like I said, everyone's still going to the store. Everyone's still shopping. You just can't go to a restaurant. The movie theaters here now, you can just rent a movie theater for $100, you know, or depending on how much the movie is. You know what I'm saying? So you and 20 people can go watch a movie for $100. But at the same time, it's like, it's not fucking worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do anything. We can't go in anywhere. We're just fucking, you know, we just got our house painted. We built a whole new entertainment center. I've redone my backyard. I'm getting ready to build a podcast studio in my yard. So like I can have dedicated space, because I, you know, like, as a podcaster, you know, it's nice not to have to move shit around. You know what I'm saying? Be able to have a central location and be able to work. So, you know, and plus, you know, that with me and my wife's podcast and then my other podcast, it would just make more fucking sense if we actually had like a nice little spot to do it. Because I literally just do it in my formal living room kitchen. You know what I'm saying? This is the wall behind me that my wife painted, and this is where I've been podcasting. You know what I'm saying? Because I've gone from podcasting in my car to podcasting in my kitchen to podcasting on this table now. You know what I'm saying? I've completely expanded, because like I said, everything used to be done from my phone. Everything went down to it. Finally got to a point where I wanted better audio, so it required me to use a laptop and learn how to use a laptop. I make it clear 100% of the time I fucking am not savvy at all. You know what I'm saying? And so I bought me this fucking Mac Pro to fucking, you know, it better my videos and better my audio. So far so good. I'm pretty happy with that, you know, but it's just like, since we can't do anything, all I've been doing is all the projects that I said I wanted to do.
Is this video going on Instagram?
Oh yeah, it'll be a portion of it. It'll be like because IGTV only lets me do 15 minutes, but I actually have a meeting with Instagram tomorrow, or no, on Thursday, because or it's Wednesday, so it is tomorrow. Yeah, whatever. Because that's one of the things I'm gonna bring up is like I think my IGTV is either limited or capped, where it won't let me post any more videos. So I always try, but they haven't been letting me do it. And so I'm a little fucking pissed off about this, but I have this meeting coming up with them. They're doing a whole, you know, research and talking to people of interest. And I'm like, oh, well, I've been trying to get verified for fucking God knows how long. But, you know, it's like something's got to fucking happen. And also, too, like I said, you fix my fucking IGTV so I can post my videos.
I was going to say, like, whatever video goes up next from this MacBook, everyone should go check it out. You look very crispy right now. Thanks. See, and I appreciate it. Like I said, that's why I bought this stupid thing, so I can like I said, I'm just trying to slowly upgrade and slowly fucking progress. You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't ever see myself stopping doing this shit. That's the thing of it, is like like I said, I've like run out of time to do Dragging the Table. Like, it's been like 3 weeks since I released an episode, but there was like a 2-month period, and like I think it was I don't remember when it was, but there was like a 2.5 month period where I was like, this show is over. I'm not doing it anymore. No way. And then that's when I came back with it, doing like interviews and stuff like that. And that's when I had you on, and Adam Simmons, a bunch of other people. And that is the thing. Like, I love doing the Untrained Eye with my wife. Like, it is my favorite podcast to do, hands down. Like, that is the one that, like, I will shun all others to do that show with her. And it's funny because, like, we've been talking about having guests on that show. And, like, the only reason that I'm hesitant to is because I'm, like, I am kind of selfish. Because I'm like, that's our thing.
Yeah. Hey,
I know she wants to talk to people too, and I feel bad. So I'm like, all right, we got to start doing something.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I can see the add on to the guest, but you guys have a great dynamic, man. Uncle Randy, Married as Fuck podcast. That's what turned me on to you, because then he asked me to, officiate a fucking, a podcast get down. Mm-hmm. And fucking, I was like, all right. And I was like, DJ sounds like a cool motherfucker. Let me actually check out his podcast. And so, after that first episode I heard, I was like, oh, yes, this is exactly what I fucking like. This is in my wheelhouse.
Dude, I really appreciate that, because that specific episode that you judged, that was like, if you go back and watch that, you hear me say, like, guys, this was so last minute, I'm not wearing pants. And that was not a lie. I was straight up in my boxers. That was so last minute doing that. So I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you right now. And then once I started listening, I started telling my wife about you guys. She was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "All right," and I was, like I said, plus the trivia. Oh, you don't know how many headaches I get. I'd be like, Sometimes I just want to call you, even though you're not recording, and be like, no.
By the way, don't you listen. If you want to call or text, you can, because believe me, people are not hesitant to text me and be like, bro, are you dumb? What is the matter with you?
And Beth is a fucking psychic, bro. How in the hell does she just pull some of those out of her ass, bro? It's like you barely even say anything, and she'll, oh, right here. You know what I'm like?
Beth is always, I don't know if it's just with me or if it's just in general, but Beth has this thing, like, she is like low key psychic or like intuitive or something, because there is no secrets from her. Like, none. Like, I can't even like get her presence without her being like, did you get this? And I'm like, what does that matter with you? Like,
exactly.
I don't know, but yeah. So I feel like she is cheating through my own eyes.
Hey, I feel like, I'm like, how? Like, I'm like amazed. I'm like, what? Like, I'm horrible at trivia. I'm the worst at trivia. You know what I'm saying? I can give you movie quotes all fucking day long if you say them in context, but besides that, fuck no, bro. I'd fucking drown.
I mean, you hear me, I drown every time. If we did straight trivia like normal, I would have lost every single one all time.
Well, the hints, when they get you rolling, bro, and you just start making up things, I'm like, yes.
And that was it, because, like, and that's what I like about podcasting, and like against segments when we first started, because I was like, this is weird, everybody does that, it's just an odd thing to do. And then we started the trivia thing, and then before, like, when we first started it, I really thought that I was on to something, because I was like, here's the thing. I'm going to ask you the question. And if you don't know it, then I'm going to write the question in the show notes. And then you can, like, it'll be a game that the listener can play and go and try and guess the thing. And it was so much extra work. You're not giving the people what they want, because they're like, what is this freaking answer, man? And I don't know when we implemented just straight up, basically just cheating for each other. Yeah. But that has been what has made that any fun.
Yeah, it is 100% fun. I enjoy it quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? I always look forward to that trivia part. trivia.
I do want to, it's funny because I was, like I said, so against segments, and I was also against like those little stings or whatever you call them, like, the little, like, oh, it's trivia, hey! Like, like having something that you play.
Yeah.
But actually, what kind of started changing my mind is when, I don't remember if I said it, I think we were like complimenting your like rapid fire, like Angry Dad podcast on babbity. And now, like, I just have that loaded up in my board. So every time I'll just hit the angry dad button and you tell me where it's at. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could like get something made or try and make something myself for trivia, or like I didn't realize how much people would like that inquiring minds thing.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, National Enquirer. I'm like, yes, continue that.
Because like that was actually, we got such good feedback on that. I was like, okay, we need to make sure we don't do this every week. We need to just like make them wonder if this is going to be the week when it comes back.
Yes. You know, that rapid fire, it just, when I started doing that, it just became so like ingrained in my body. Like, I don't know how I can do it, but like my everything I do is, because everyone's like, is that pre-recorded? I was like, no, it's not pre-recorded. I do it every time. It's slightly different. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with my ads. I fucking read my ads and then I fucking do that. And it somehow just seems so smooth. And I don't even know how I made the order. I was just like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right.
And it's perfect. It is, listen, this is one more reason why you should be watching the videos, people, on Instagram. See him go through Rapids, Micro Machines Man style. It's on Deezer, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google iTunes, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah. And
yes, please.
I don't know. I was like, that's one of the reasons why I started doing videos too, is because people were like, I need to see your face go through these emotions you're having. And I'm like, well, you know, that it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm screaming, I'm up and down, and I'm all around. And people are like, I need to see what you're doing.
That is the one thing, like, people have mentioned video for the untrained eye or for dragging the table. And like dragging the table when there's a guest, you know, I'll put that up on YouTube. And I have recorded one or two, like just doing one straight to camera, but like, you know, doing the solo podcast, like it can be, unless you are like super fired up. Sometimes, like if you get too in your own head, you'll just start looking around the room and you're like, what the hell am I doing with my life right now? Like, I'm yelling at no one. Like, is anyone going to relate?
That is the truth.
Dude,
does that Brock get it?
And for whatever reason, you look like looking at the camera, like I just got too much like in my own head, and I was like, if I ever did do that, I think it would have to be, I don't know, maybe because I have two of these webcams. Maybe I would just set one up like on either side, so it just cuts back and forth, and it just looks like I'm actually talking to someone, but I can just focus, like, I don't know, on the wall instead of the fake person that's not laughing.
Well, like when I do it, I find that if I turn the camera, I'm not really looking at the camera. I'm just looking at the time in the picture. Because when I do that, then it puts me a little more in focus. But if I look like, just like you said, look right in the camera, I lose it.
Yeah, because it's
like an idiot.
Yeah, it's just like a dead eye looking at you, and you're like, you don't think this is funny. No one thinks this is not interesting. Why do I keep doing this? But again, like it's so funny because, like, you know, there are too many podcasts, some people say, but man, I wish everyone would just start their own podcast, because it is so, whether it's a solo show, whether it's a show with a buddy or a spouse or whatever, like, it is such a fun thing to do. Even if you don't end up going 100 and whatever episodes or 400 episodes, like, it's still a cool, I was going to say experience and like experiment, just to see. Like, I don't know, when we started ours, The Untrained Eye, like, never, ever did we think. We're on episode 127 now. Never, ever did we think we'd get to 127. And we haven't missed a week in 2 years now, or almost 2 years.
See, it's fucking great. Like, I do the same thing because people are like, oh, because, you know, when you do a podcast, you talk about your podcast. And, you know, like, otherwise you don't reach people. You don't talk to people. You have to network like that and everything. And people are like, oh, I wish I did a podcast. I'm like, then why not? You could do it for free. There's apps. There's this. There's that. You can do it from your phone. I'm a fucking idiot. Guess what you can do? This. And people are like, huh? What? And I'll pull my app on my phone and be like, look, it's like talking into your cell phone in a conversation. You know what I mean? And
it doesn't sound people, you're okay. Anyone listening who's like, well, but my phone, the microphone isn't that good. It's way better than you think.
Yes.
way better than you think.
Way better than you think. It's not like listening to a fucking answer machine where you're getting static. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you can actually hear like the depth in your voice a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like I haven't released any podcasts through Anchor, but like I downloaded it and I started like messing around with it just to know, because I've recommended it to a couple people, that app, and I've never, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to keep recommending it if I've never even used it. But you just use the mic on your phone and it sounds great.
That's it. And you can even buy mics that plug into your phone and just put it in your chest or hold it in your hand like a microphone. You can do it just like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I upgraded. You know what I'm saying? The first time I was like, all right, let me get a mic. And I bought a little $10 mic and it sounded great.
So is your wife hooked now too? Was she skeptical at first, or was she like all in right away?
She was all in right away. She was she's very shy, very not, she's not very outgoing, but because of me, you're going to have to be. You know what I'm saying? I speak, I talk, I can make best friends with fucking anybody in line with me. I fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm just very, very outgoing and very dominant. And like, I'm a social butterfly, and she's always there with me. Like, no, you're going to speak, you're going to talk. This is how this is going down. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I've had her on my podcast quite a few times. We're going out or doing a date, and I got to get this podcast out. She'll do it with me, and then she just started getting hooked. And then we always talked about what we were gonna do, and then I've always ran this idea. What if we walk? Because like I love aliens, I love Bigfoot, I love ghosts, I love all this fucking bullshit because that's all I watch 24/7. And we'll have conversations about it. Like she'll sit there and talk shit. I'll sit there and talk shit, and I'm like, see. This is what we need to do. And then finally it came out because I have an ongoing joke with my kids and all my best friends are like, you Bigfoot ass motherfucker. I'm 6'5", 300 fucking pounds, fucking, jacked as fuck. And, I'm hairy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even be able to fucking see my skin if I didn't shave my shit down. And so fucking, so like I always tell the kids, like, I'm a Bigfoot. Grandma found me out in the woods and brought me home. And, you know what I'm saying? They believed me until they got old enough. You know what I'm saying? Because I would always progress it and say it to them. They'd be like, oh, Dad, what? And then they'd ask me how old I am. I always lie to them about how old I am. I'm like 100 years old. And they'd be like, Dad's 100 years old. I'm like, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then my wife, Kristen, she's 5'11". I'm 6'5". And so, the kids start calling her a Yeti. And so, and she's got beautiful white hair, you know what I'm saying? That's just her natural hair color. And so fucking they start calling her a Yeti. And then next thing you know, we're spitting back this idea. I'm like, why don't we call I Married a Bigfoot? Because that's what you did. And now it's just us talking shit.
Dude, I'm so glad that you guys started that podcast because it is like, I remember you, like, one of the best compliments that we got early on from you was like, this is like when me and my wife are sitting around talking, like whenever you were listening to the Untrained Guy. And when I heard that you guys were starting a podcast, I was like, finally. And it did not let down.
Oh yeah. No, like I said, I go off the deep end a lot, you know what I'm saying? But she's the reason of voice, she reels me back in. And a lot of times I always have to remember, you married me.
And that, by the way, that's what's crazy about our show and our, like, who we are. Because, by the way, nothing is funnier than you guys being giants, because I am 5'3" and Beth is like 5'6". So like we are the exact like invert. But like normally, like, I feel like doing any of these shows has made me a more outgoing person, because like I am not that guy. Like what you hear when you hear the Untrained Eye, like that's how I am with my wife and with virtually no one else. But like I guess just the nature of putting it on the internet, like I've been able to talk to other people like that, like you or the Wutskis or, any of those Inner Circle guys or, you know what I mean? Like it's been such a cool experience for that, because again, I'm in Florida right now. You're in California, and we're just internet friends that just together, and we're like, let's be friends.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, how I am in this podcast in all my podcasts that's me 100% of the time, 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And like I'll be reading articles, telling things to my wife, and she'd be like, You married this. All right. I do something stupid. I look over. You married this.
Your fault.
Exactly. Yeah. You knew this was coming. But yeah, it's fucking great because, like I said, I've met so many people through podcasting. It's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I found Uncle Randy and the Married as Fuck podcast through what the hell is his name? He's on Joe Rogan all the time. He posted retweeted or reposted a video from Uncle Randy, the one who does the jogging and the marathons all the time. Cameron something.
Oh, Cam Haynes?
Yeah, Cam Haynes. And so I was like, all right, let me check this fucking guy out. And I'm like, Uncle Randy is my kind of fucking dude. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with that. And so I started listening to this podcast, and then I started listening to you. And then through you, shit, I found fucking like, HT Nas, Simmons and Moore, Hood Dying, like all those Inner Circle guys. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? This is some legit fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Even Wayne, I was listening to Wayne Pilon. You know what I'm saying? And so fucking
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And like I said, I sent him some stickers. He sent me some stickers. He did he did an episode for me. I was like, legit.
Dude, it's just awesome. Like, it's awesome.
It is.
Yeah, I still my favorite love connection that I made was between you and Brad of the Coffee Buzz.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's such a dynamic between us two because it's like, he's a vegan and I'm, like the opposite end of that spectrum, but yet just like you said, he's got that soothing fucking voice. If he wanted to start a cult, you know what I'm saying? I would say I'd be in. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, we would all be down. Dude, my dream is for you and him to do like at least a monthly show or like a bi-weekly show. Like that show, you and him just going over either like the news of the day. Like this is what I would like. I would like for him to bring you news of the day stuff. He's like, all right, over the last 2 weeks, this is some of the big like news that hit. And I want you to bring him like the spillover alien stuff that you didn't get to from I Married a Bigfoot.
Well, we might have to do that then. You know what I'm saying? I'll reach out to him, see what he says, a little something we can put together. You know what I'm saying? And then we can bring it together with coffee. Because on his last episode, I never drank coffee. I've never been a coffee person, but my wife is. So whatever your wife does, guess what you're gonna fucking do? You know what I mean? So now when I'm drinking coffee, I always look at her. You did this to me, so I don't want to hear no complaining. It's the same thing like with TikTok. She got me, like I stood away from TikTok for so long, and then all of a sudden she's all, look at this. All right, I'm gonna fucking download it. I download it, and then she's all, are you still watching TikTok? You did this to me.
Oh my God. TikTok is one that I wish I could get into, but it's like, what I've realized is I am super into the drama of Twitter. Like, I'm okay with Instagram. I'm like, Facebook is kind of boring, but Twitter is like, I will go there, go to the trending news page, find whatever I feel like people are going to be the most mad about, and just read the comments of just people going fuck wild.
But wow. And see, I'm the exact opposite because I as much as I try to get Twitter, I'm like, I just see random posts. I'm like, but what am I supposed to look at? Or what am I supposed to like? Sometimes I don't even know if I'm posting stuff correctly because I'm like, I'm listening to this. And I'm like, that's all I know how to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, there's something to be said is because like I will go like all out for like the show tweets or whatever. And they get, a relative for the amount of work that goes into it to what they output is not equal in any way
at all. It's the same thing.
But it's really funny because of all of the stuff that's been going on Twitter these past, past 6 months because of COVID, and then the election, and then just my overall psyche in general. Like, I was taking a shower before we were going to go on, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm going to unsubscribe from all the political podcasts that I listen to. I'm going to stop looking at Twitter so much, and I think I'm going to just check out of not completely check out, but I want to try and mostly check out of politics because it's just been a little too much here lately. Like, I've gotten too stressed over it for really no good reason.
Yeah, nah, it is. And just like you said, like I have to steer clear of it because like just like you get fired up, I get fired up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a union. I believe in the union. The union 100%. I've saved my job, made my job better, all this fucking good shit. And so like the union's got their own podcast. I just found out and I'm listening to it. I'm like, you guys fucking suck because they're like reading the news. I'm like, I don't want to hear someone with a monotone voice reading the news. I want to hear someone fired up talking about fucking action, about fucking what we're gonna fucking do to, like I said, I grew up old school mafia style fucking union. You know what I'm saying? That's how I remember it. And fucking, I see everyone now. It's like all, like you said, political. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm big enough to scare people.
Yeah. But that's all it is now. Like no one, it's, I wish it would just be January already. So we know the results. All the votes have been counted and recounted. The guy whoever won is in the thing and we're just doing the thing now.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect us. You know what I'm saying? We're not fucking ridiculously rich. We're not ridiculously poor. We still live an average fucking life. Certain things get changed. It's on a state level that affects us, but not the presidential level. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting there fucking trading stocks off of some fucking moron saying that we're not going to do something or we're going to do something so it raises up and fucking down. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking so like, I hate politics, but the thing is, as you get older, you really got to pay attention to this fucking shit because it's fucking crazy.
It's the worst part. It's the worst part of getting old is being like, okay, well, some of this stuff, not all of it, but some of it's going to affect me directly. And now I have to pay attention. Thanks, older guys.
You know what I mean?
Nothing.
I'm the same fucking way.
Where just watching Ninja Turtles eating, some kicks or something.
Back in the day, it was fucking waking up early, eating some cornflakes, watching Dragon Ball Z at 5:00 in the fucking morning because I didn't want to miss an episode. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, I'm like watching the news, the Corona death count, fucking Joe Biden this, Donald Trump this. I'm like, both of these fucking guys are fucking morons and fucking idiots. One's just gonna be in your face about it. The other one's just gonna be like, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
I will say the good thing about all of the COVID and all of the election nonsense that's going on, like all of the other stupid stuff, like all of the cancel culture, like the ridiculous side of cancel culture, all of the like, we're getting upset because can you believe what Ben tweeted? Oh my God, Ben. None of it. None of it. Like, that's all we can focus on is there going to, which by the way, did you see that the FDA approved a vaccine like day after the election?
Exactly. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? It's like once the election's over, guess what? We're all going back to fucking normal. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever normal's going to fucking be now, all of a fucking sudden. And I'm not getting a Corona vaccine at all because that's some fucking bullshit. That's some fucking nonsense. And what happened to years of studies to make sure I don't grow a third fucking arm or a second fucking asshole? You know what I mean?
Yeah, or just be riddled with cancer. Like we love to riddle people with cancer. And my understanding is that those vaccines need like 2 to 6 years of testing.
Yes.
And nah, dude, like good luck. Catch me on the other side of that. Whatever happens to the vaccine, I will get the 3rd round or 4th round of that.
If that, you know what I mean? I'm going to avoid it as long as I possibly fucking can because I do not want, but like I said, I already got a lot of bullshit going on with me. I don't need extra bullshit going on with me at all.
Well, I'm not like the super healthiest dude that ever lived, but like, and especially now because of you, I'm like eating a lot better. I am outside every day because of my job. So technically I'm sort of working out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, just not sedentary, eating okay. I haven't been sick and I can't tell you how long because, I don't know. As soon as I start feeling anything coming on, I'll take some garlic. I'll take some vitamin C. You know what I mean? Like
that's it. That's what you're supposed to do, And now that you brought that up, how has the diet been going?
So, Halloween isn't a great time to be.
It's a holiday, bro. I don't count holidays. I'm not worried about eating candy. I'm talking about the every other day shit.
So yeah, for the like now I've gotten down how much I need to cook and like a better way to portion it out, a better way to season it. The chicken isn't super dry anymore. It actually is edible. And like I can cook like a week or a week and a half worth of food, portion it all out, and just have it ready to go. So I can just pick it up in the morning and go on and do
it makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
Bro, not having to think about it is like, it is such, anyone who thinks it's not possible to either, because like, so I'll tell everybody. So what I ended up doing at Ben's recommendation was I eat now 6 times a day, and I start at 8 and I end by 6. So every 2 hours I'm eating, and it sounds daunting. And especially when you are an idiot and you pour one whole cup of steel cut oats and then try and eat it, and you're halfway through and you're like, I'm gonna die. I can't do this. There's too many oats. But once you get your portions correct, and by the way, even still, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Like I just look at. I'll buy the chicken, you know, like in bulk of like maybe 5 or 6 chicken breasts, and look at the weight of it, and then cook it, and then just kind of try and cut it to where I think like the 4 ounces should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So eat the 6 times a day, and the food it's just all there. Like you don't think you'll be hungry, but then all of a sudden 2 hours later, you're like, I could eat. And then you eat again, and then and like I will say, from the time that you started me on this till I did have a little, again, hiccup with Halloween. And
it goes like that. And I'm not worried. Yeah, the hiccups can happen. We are human. That's what I tell people, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not sitting there trying to become some mass fucking monster. You're just trying to fucking live a comfortable life.
Well, it sucks because the Halloween candy lingers, you know?
Oh, it does, and it's delicious. We're a full candy bar house, and I've been eating up with full candy bars for like the last fucking since Halloween. You know what I mean? So don't sit there and feel bad because I'm doing it too.
But when you hit me up, I was at 197, and I'm down to like 183, 182 now. So it's only been like what, a month and a half, like that.
And I told you, it's easily done. Once you get on this regiment schedule of eating and you get that metabolism fucking kicked up, you can literally start adjusting your meals, changing your meals, eating less. You can actually start implementing intermediate fasting if you want. So you can break it down to 3 meals a day, and then just eat within a certain amount of time. And then that intermediate fasting will help you burn, because like when you're intermediate fasting, you can have water, black coffee, plain tea, and or branching amino acids if you want, or you can even buy ketones, drink ketones, because you don't need to do keto to drink ketones, and it'll help burn fat if you want to get to that part. But it's like, once you reboot the system, just like you're doing, guess what? It literally falls off. And then once it becomes this lifestyle, guess what? You get to be exactly that. I can still go out to eat. I can still enjoy my food, and you're fine. You know what I'm saying? I had a hiccup. Who cares?
Yeah. And that's the thing of it, is like, because, you know, we had talked, like I had done the keto diet for a while, for like close to a year, and I lost like 70 pounds on that. And then, you know, I did but I was like pretty strict. Like there was no, if I deviated, it was like maybe once a month. Like I was ridiculous with it. And so I say that to say this. Like once I got around the area that I wanted, I was at like 162, somewhere around there. I was like, I've been losing weight like crazy. I deserve to, instead of like once a month, I can eat a Sunday twice a month. Yeah. And then it came to, I can eat it 4 times a month. And then, 40 pounds later, Ben has to step in and be like, go ahead and put that down, sir. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's not, because we talked about this too, like privately, is like the meat, like having a cheat meal, just have a cheat meal. You're not having a cheat day. It's okay to go and get crazy and, go eat all the seafood you can stuff into your face. Then, go eat normal the next day. And just don't deprive yourself, I would say. That's why I fell off so hard.
Once you deprive yourself and start cutting all this deliciousness out, it feels like a punishment. And I was like, no, it's not a punishment. You can enjoy it. Everything's in moderation. But the thing is, as long as you stick to what you're always going to do and just be like, oh, I've eaten so much food, I'm full, I got to kind of digest it, let it go. It's like, no, in the next 2 hours, guess what you're doing? You got to shove that meal in your fucking face, force it down, and you're just going to kick the cycle back up because now your body just needs to burn more, and then you're going to shit like crazy because it's going to let it all out.
And the funny part too is like when you are, because again, at first I wasn't seasoning stuff. I was just like just trying to like basically keto again. I'm like, I'm not flavoring the meat. I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna this is fuel now. It's not actually food. But again, like it doesn't have to be constant misery. Like you can enjoy what you're eating, and it can also be good because what I eat tastes good, and you know what I mean? Like it didn't take long for the results to start happening. So
that's exactly it. You know, that's one of the things I always try to teach people when I do these meal plans. I'm like, look, we're human. You know what I'm saying? We just want to look good and feel good. And, you know, it ain't going to hurt to have this and this. But guess what? Flavor your food. Get some ketchup. Get some mustard. Get some seasonings. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite seasonings is from it's called Feast Mode. They make so many different Tennessee whiskey they sell is one of the only things I'll put on my burgers. I'll put that shit on there, and it's fucking nice and smoky and sweet, and it's like it just to another level. You know what I'm saying? They also have this thing called Asiago jalapeno. Oh man, I put that shit on my fucking vegetables. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
I found this. It looked like it. You know how like the big canisters of Parmesan that have just the top that rolls around. I found this stuff. It's called like Creo or something like that. Like it was on. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I buy it at the dollar store.
I have never seen such a thing, and it was like bottom shelf. And I was like, you know what? That's a lot of it. It's cheap. Goes, bro, I swear by that stuff now. It is so, I'm sure it's all asbestos and like rat droppings. But
all MSG. Hey, that brand also makes blacking powder. Really? And if that makes that blackened seasoning, oh my god! I love my chicken blackened with that spicy seasoning. Oh, like I said, the same brand, and I put that on that shit. Oh, fire right there.
I've been telling everybody. I found this stuff called Melinda's ghost pepper sauce. Dude, that is like that makes your food a gauntlet. Like you are like, it is a true test of will to get through it. Cause I am just immediately sweating. My mouth hurts. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do it, but it tastes so good. It's fiery hot, but it tastes so good.
And that's how I love it. I love the spice. You know what I mean? Now, Eric, I'm going to tell you how I used to eat when I was doing bodybuilding and I was becoming I was trying to be a mass monster. I wanted to be 300 pounds, jacked as fuck, bro. I used to eat 12 meals a day and 3 shakes a day.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. And each one of those meals would be almost a pound of meat. And then plus vegetables and like a fucking full cup of rice. You know what I'm saying? And I would pound that shit all day long. Like a typical breakfast would be like a half a bag of asparagus, a fucking full, like maybe 2 or 3 cups of rice. And then I would eat like fucking 10 chicken breasts or 10 fucking chicken thighs on top after I just grilled it all or pan fried it all. And I would have that for breakfast. And then I'd have like 12 eggs and some steaks and some fucking, and I used to eat like that every single day. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. And then I make like these 1,000-calorie shakes and just fucking pound them. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
dude, it is. You know what? And I will say this too. What people don't realize is like that plan that you put me on has inadvertently also like dropped my weekly spending bill like in half. Probably more than half. Guys, I just make all the food and that's it. I don't need to buy anything at work. I don't need to get anything extra for dinner. I'm just like, blam, God. $60 will get me through like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So, yeah, dude.
And me and my wife cook like this all the time. And so we literally spend maybe about like, we'll buy 6 flats of chicken and then 2 extra flats for our dog. And fucking, then that's just how we cook our food. You know what I'm saying? Ground beef, all that stuff. The majority of the time, that's, you know, all we do is just meal prep like that. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it so easy because she works out, I work out. and she eats good. I eat good. You know what I'm saying? But we've been dialing and scaling back our recipes and stuff like that. So it makes it so much easier on both of you. You know what I'm saying? Especially, it's like just the money you save on it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But really, goddamn it, the price of chicken thighs is too damn fucking high.
Too damn high.
Too damn high. I'm telling you, bro.
But and really, I cannot thank you enough for at least setting me on that course, because I was like, because I am that person that is like, I'm not necessarily the greatest leader, but if you give me the instruction, like, I can do the thing. You're like, this is what you need to do. I'm like, all right, got it. Let's go.
That's it. You know, and it always seems daunting at first. It seems like this huge track. Because like when I send people that, like I said, I just gave you the basic one, you know, and when you're ready to dial it in a little bit better, guess what we can do? We can dial it in. We can change the amount of protein, the amount of carbohydrates, the amount of vegetables to scale it down to a point where, you know, you can lose way more. Or if you like what you're doing, you do what you do. But like, you just, that list first is like, that seems like it's so much. I'm like, not till you do it. Once you figure it out, you get the meals prepped out, scraped up, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, that's not actually that bad.
Yeah, because what is it? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 10 hours that your 10-hour eating window, if you're eating every 2 hours like I am, and it's 6 meals, it's, I don't know. It just, I feel like whenever I would hear people talk like you and I are talking right now, just I was the on the fence guy. And if you're the on the fence person right now, just go over the fence. It's
Oh yeah. Like I said, I love it too. Like I said, for those probably watching this video, understand I got shoulder wrap on here. I just had shoulder surgery. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get myself back into the ability to fucking lift heavy shit all the fucking time, you know, and do crazy shit all the fucking time.
So are you going to be able to lift like crazy? Like what did they do? Did they fix or what did they do?
Well, they went in there, they cleaned out all the scar tissue, bone spurs. When my shoulder was destroyed the first time back in 2016, my muscle was so big it pulled my shoulder out of place and healed it in a place where it shouldn't have been. So they had to go in there and shave it down to give me a little more mobility. You know what I'm saying? And I got a great doctor. He fucking went in there, took care of it, handled fucking business, you know, was reassuring, saying that, you know, we're going to do what we can. And hopefully, you know, once I recover, because I'm in a fucking arm mobility thing where I'm going to be in this I got to sleep with this motherfucker on. I got to have this motherfucker on for like 2 to 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's not fun, but you know, like it is what it is, you know, like, and me being a big guy, when I went in to go do my shoulder surgery, they actually had to do a nerve block. And when they did the nerve block, they had one of those ultrasound machines to try to find my nerves. They're like, you got too much muscle in your neck. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, this is going to be a little difficult, but we'll still get it done. And oh my God, when they cut me open to put it in there, it fucking hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Really? So you still felt it?
Oh yeah, because what it is they can't put me asleep because they're like, you got to make sure that I can feel the nerve block.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
How long did the surgery last?
I got there at 11. They were behind schedule, and I got out at 6. So it was a long, but also too, I ended up not making it easy for them because none of the doctors, you know, when I go to places, people don't realize how big I am or how heavy I am. So when I got in there, they're like, they literally, after they put me out and they were trying to size me up for surgery, like, we had to find stools so we can work on you. Like your shoulders were too big for the fucking bed. Your arms were too big for the fucking bed. We had to adjust everything just so we can do the surgery right. You know what I'm saying?
But
exactly.
But it all went like they were happy with everything. They're like, hey,
yeah. Everything went smooth. Everything went great. The only thing they ended up having to do is they prescribed me Narcos, but because of how big I am, because they called me this morning because yesterday's the day I had the surgery for those. It was the 10th. Like I can't. The pain medication wasn't working, and they're like, oh, come on in today. We're gonna have to write you a new prescription. So they had to give me the heavy duty stuff.
Is that now at least?
Yeah. Which, like I said, it feels a lot better. It's not throbbing. It's fucking not bothering me so much. I can move around a little bit more. Because like even when you'd ask me, it was like I told you, oh, I'm getting surgery that day. And he's like, are you gonna be okay? It's like, I'm a certain kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, so does this mean that now you are going to be able to like move your arm like you did before, or just closer to where you were before?
Well, it's the hope is to be able to move my arm like before, but if I can get any more mobility than I had, it's going to be a win. You know what I'm saying?
How limited was the mobility before?
I could slightly go above my shoulder.
Really?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah, like I remember something happened. I think I got hit by a car or something, and like I was in a car that got hit. Yeah. I actually did get hit by a car once, but that's another story. It had like tweaked my neck or whatever, and like it's funny because you saying like not above your shoulder, like you never think about like how much you like turn your neck to like look to see when you're driving to like see the car next to you if you can get over, and then all of a sudden you can't turn your head like past your shoulder, and you're like, God dang it!
Like what the fuck?
So that's so you're gonna have like closer to full mobility, like you'll be able to do the full butterfly or what?
Yeah, that's the hope and dream that I can get that back. You know what I'm saying? Because like because like in my arm, I literally went from like 100% strength to after this to almost like 60%. I want to say, and that's me really fucking pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Me trying to like make my arm work. You know, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, before this accident, because for those who don't know and just tuning in to say, I was ran over by a forklift at full speed. You know what I'm saying? And at that moment in time, I was 300 pounds, jacked. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason I survived.
That's so nuts, dude. That is so nuts. Dude, I am so glad you're okay. And I'm so glad that you are going to be able to be at least that much closer to full mobility again.
Oh, yeah. I need it.
See, when I get hit by stuff, I just get lucky that I don't die. Like there is no too much muscle.
And well, you know, I've been like, my wife says, you got a guardian angel that's on watch 24/7. Well, I think I might got 2 guardian angels because I've been through so many fucking accidents and shit happening to me that she's like, I don't know how you're alive still. You know what I'm saying? I hear these things you're saying and all these stories you're telling me, and I don't question you because I absolutely see you doing them, but how are you alive? You know what I'm saying?
I think my version of that is people wonder why I don't get punched in the face more. Because when it comes to like strangers or even customers at work, like I am not trying to like have a conversation. I'm like, this is what it is, and I'll see you later. And no, they're like, how do you talk to people like that? I'm like, I don't know. I got stuff to do. Like,
you know what I'm saying? I got shit going on right now. I ain't gonna sit there and try to have a full-blown conversation, especially with someone I don't like. That's it. You know, when you had John on your podcast, that got me turned on to John. And then John was on Creatures one time. And so me and him, we actually talk quite a bit now. You know what I'm saying? We're always DMing each other. And, you know, like I post ridiculous amounts of stuff on Instagram. And so I have stuff that I can't post on Instagram because, like I said, I find stuff funny. But then sometimes I'm like, might be a little too much, you know what I mean? So I'm always constantly sending him shit. And he's like, what the fuck? I'm like, exactly, bro.
I love that, dude. John it's every time I see you like with a new like official thing, or by the way, you got to have Kaz on.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm working on it. You know, like I said, I just barely got my podcasting abilities back. So it's like I got a backup of all kinds of shit that I got to fucking start doing now.
But dude, like that, like I just saw you got something else from Sleep Terror, that he did with that tattoo parlor or whatever.
Yeah.
Or was it a parlor or was it just a tattooist?
I think it was just I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think it was a tattooist though.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I really love seeing that. Like, it is so awesome. Like, I love John. I love you. Like, I love all these guys that, you know, we're all like, we kind of all are in the same, like, you know, atmosphere. Yeah, whatever. We're all in the same stratosphere. We're in the same gravity.
We're all in the same realm.
Yeah. We're in the same dimension. And yeah, it's just cool to watch. Like, I don't know, just to see all of the connections start being made, because I'm by the way, as like because I still like, even though like I know you, talk to you, like we have each other's phone numbers. But I think of like Chris Wutsky, like him and I will text sometimes, or like any of these people. I'm like, it's so weird because honestly, on another level, I'm like, these are famous people that are talking to me.
That's how I look at you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I ain't nobody. I'm just some fucking dude that likes to post funny shit and likes to yell. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because like when I'm listening to people's episodes and they mention me, I'm like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's weird because you're like, they do. By the way, how crazy is it when someone says something that you don't expect, and they're like, and yeah. Listening to Ben the other day, and he said something, and you're like, oh, what? Like they do listen.
Exactly. No, and that's 100%. It's like, it's so fucking crazy, and it feels so fucking good too, because you're like, fuck, you know what I'm saying,
dude? Because listen, this just became only for podcasters, because it's like, we all know the struggle of, like I said, like before, I told you, I put that thing out. I put like this long, extravagant tweet out to be like, a new episode for you. And, you know, just the people that I tag in it are like, hey, like, retweet, which is awesome. Do not get me wrong at all. But you're like, you look at it and you're like, is anyone even notice this? You know what I mean? But when you guys are like, hey, I see that, I like it, I retweet it, like, my life isn't based around that, but I'm like, thank you. Like, genuinely,
it's great. It takes effort to do what we do. And, you know, we don't get paid like some ridiculous amount of money. You know what I'm saying? If we get paid at all, we pour more money into this than anything else. But the thing is, it's just so fucking fun. And it's nice to have that recognition and of acknowledgement of hard work. Cause it's like, fuck yes. Cause like I said, these are all our babies. And we put in that effort, and it's fucking great. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, it's like when I hear your episodes and I hear them, I was like, man, it makes me want to take mine to that next fucking level where I know I could do more better in my quality, you know? And it's fucking great.
That is it too. It's like, there's nothing like hearing someone there. The thing I love and hate the most is when somebody has a really good idea that was like just right there. You're like, all I had to do was just think it and do it, and that guy did it. You're like, yeah, dang it, I need to be better.
Exactly. You know, like one of the things that I'm always doing is in my phone, I have what I call a podcast bank. So if something happens, something pisses me off, or I think of something, I try to immediately write some kind of bullet point to fucking kick my idea back in so I can do it. Or if like I have a shirt design, or if I have a thought, or whatever it is, I put it right. I try to stop myself. I'll even hand my phone to my wife and be like, write this down real quick before I forget. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, that's how that's just, you know, trying to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable to be better.
Yeah. And it's funny because I don't know if you're like me, but like if anyone looked at my notes app, they would be like, wow, this is a psycho serial killer. Like
100%.
Dude, there's so much random nonsense in there that like I'm even afraid to go back and look at, that I'm like, man, if the FBI ever sees this, they're gonna think they've
already looked at it. No, don't worry about it. Because that is the truth, brother. That is the truth. Like I said, I do the same thing all the time. You know, when I get that awkward head turn from a wife, she's like, what? I'm like, exactly.
Dude, the craziest thing is if like every once in a while, like maybe every 2 or 3 months, I'll go just flick through the notes. And the crazy ones are the ones that I write something that I'm like, I know in the moment, I think when later DJ reads this, he's going to understand. Whatever it is out of context is so bananas crazy that I'm like, I don't know if I should delete this.
You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy it could work.
To get me in prison.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of the things. Like I said, there's this group that we have because, like, I know you with the Uncivilized Creatures. You got the Inner Circle podcast, and then me and my buddies just put ours together. We're the SIT Network. We're a slightly irregular podcast network. And these are all guys that I've been talking to for a long time. All guys that we're all podcasting. We all just bullshitting back and forth all the time. And then all of a sudden we're like, one person was like, hey, we should do this. And I'm like, all right, no problem. That sounds good. Everyone's bored on it. And so I tell them, I'll run the Instagram, someone run the Twitter, and then one of our guys made us all a Sit Network website where you can go there and literally look at everything there. And it's so great when you got all this community together that everyone's in sync with it. And all we do is we go on each other's shows, we retweet each other back, and these are just people that I talk to on a regular basis, and it's just so funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like all friends from the internet. You know what I'm saying? I got two of my brothers that live down here, and that's who got me started in podcasting. And then we got all these other people that were in together, and we're like, it's fucking great. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think that I didn't do this sooner.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you think we would, it's just like, man, I wish I would have started this sooner, because look how fucking much fun I'm having doing this shit.
Exactly. Like, it's funny because every once in a while you get that thing where you're like, oh man, I got to record. I don't know I cannot tell you how many times we go to record and Beth will be like, I got nothing. And I'm like, all right, we'll figure it out.
From the hip. You know what I'm saying? That's how it does. And like, I have, because all my accounts are B to the fourth power. Every Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, YouTube, all that's all B to the fourth power. And then from doing all this, my younger son, he's 15. I want to say he was 13 when we started, or maybe just turned 14 when we started, but he wanted to do YouTube. And so I was like, all right, well, if you want to do this, guess what you need to fucking do? Show it to me that you're really trying to do this. You know what I'm saying? So fucking, he helped me set up a page. We set up a YouTube page, and then we ended up calling it Team Bowman Snack Attack. And then now it's just us eating ridiculously hot food, doing some food reviews, and fucking doing challenges. You know what I'm saying? Because we're always doing challenges. Like, there's going to be punishment, but we're always doing challenges. You know what I'm saying?
Your guys' challenge when you did the Taco Bell, it's supposed to be for a family taco, or whatever. Like, I tried to do that because I was like, surely I can do that. Nah, dude, that was a rough one.
Hey, this is one of my special abilities. I've been blessed with loving food, eating food, and I have no limit on how much I can consume. Like, one time Uncle Randy was like, I think he's a competitive eater. I was like, I'm not a competitive eater. I'm just a person who fucking likes to eat competitively. You know what I mean? and I can knock out anything. I've eaten you ever watch Man vs. Food, the original series?
Yep.
Well, there's a place over here in Walnut Creek. It's called the San Francisco Creamery, where you eat an ice cream called the Kitchen Sink. All right, I did mine in 23 minutes. It's literally a fucking gigantic kitchen sink full of fucking ice cream. And one of my cousin Joe came down. He was like, because he's competitive. Me and him are like brother. We literally grew up with each other doing crazy shit together. And fucking, if you think I was crazy, he'd be the crazier one. And so him and his son and me and my son were like, oh, we're going to do this. He challenged us. So my son ate like 2 scoops of the topping. And then he's like, I can't eat no more. I'm like, but my son's like that, So I sit there and demolish this ice cream in front of my cousin. He's just sitting there like, how are you just doing this? Did you not hear what I told you? I've been eating gallons of ice cream every night for like the past whatever time, because I like to eat ice cream. You know what I'm saying? And he's just,
well, I mean, listen, you were preparing for that moment your whole life, because would you say 12 meals of like 12 eggs, steaks?
That's what I'm saying. It's like bodybuilding was meant for me, because I can eat and consume all this food. And then when we did this ice cream challenge, the people were in the store were like, did he really just eat all that in that short amount of time? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because how did you do it without brain freeze? Like, are you one of those no brain freeze people?
No, I get brain freeze, but I'm stupid. So I'll just fight through it. You know what I'm saying? There's no fucking guess what? I can overcome pain. I'm very high tolerance.
I haven't had brain freeze since I was a kid, but I remember trying to push through it, and it felt like I was dying.
And that's how it feels. All right. Oh my God. Here in Vacaville, it's the next town over. They have a place called Fenton's Ice Cream. They have I think it's a 3-pound ice cream challenge. And me and my son and my best friend Dragon, we went and did it. And like everyone from the kitchen staff came to see what I did, because they were like, he's just eating it. He's not stopping.
Like this.
not real right now. And they were like all plotting, like, and I'm like, yeah, it's what I do.
They at least pitch in to get you like a T-shirt or a hat or something. That's like
you would think so, but you know what I'm saying. It was like a $15 ice cream. You know what I'm saying? So they were just all in a maze because they were like, "Did you wait? What?" I'm like, exactly.
Bro,
this isn't nothing to me.
Ice cream. Like, I love ice cream, but I'm lactose intolerant as well, so I can't even imagine what kind of rocket diarrhea I would have after 3 pounds of ice cream.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just a monster when it comes to eating, bro. I just fucking, I'll eat things just to eat it, and fucking, and like anytime I find a food challenge, I'm like, let's go do it. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things, like when we do these spicy things, my wife's like, you're gonna fucking die. I'm like, I'll go through 3 days of stomach cramps and ass burning for this win here. All right.
What has been the one that made you come closest to regretting doing out of all the hot food challenges you've done?
Well, I'll tell you right now, what I thought was the hottest was not the hottest. I ate a thing called the Moab bar, and in the Moab bar, it's a half pound of chocolate with 3 Carolina Reapers in the chocolate, and then it has a caramel nougat with Scorpion Trinidad in it. And the world record is 3 minutes with the LA Beast doing it, and so I bought 2 bars because originally me and my son were going to do it, but then he backed out. He's like, I'm not doing this. I'm like, well, I found somebody that was willing to do it with me, a guy I work with. And so he came over. He was very zen about it, very cool, calm. I'm sitting there like, so I'm trying to beat this 3-minute record. I ended up doing it in like, I want to say like 3 minutes, like 30 seconds or something like that, or maybe 4 minutes. And it was fucking brutal. My stomach was up. The heat calmed down. I was okay, but my stomach was fucked up. We did it like right before Thanksgiving, so I didn't even get to enjoy Thanksgiving because every time I ate something, it came straight out of my fucking ass. Exactly. And
I love that. I love any kind of like, listen, I don't care how close we are to the holidays. I am going to do this, and I don't care what the recruit.
Exactly. I'm a special kind of stupid. You know what I mean?
By the way, I am totally that guy as well. They're like, but tomorrow's the wedding. I'm like, I don't care.
I'll make it happen. And then my wife, she loves podcasts as much as I do, and she likes Bert, the 2 Bears, 1 Cave.
Yes.
And she found Bert and Tom ate this thing called the Devil's Rind.
Yes. Okay.
So I bought it, and she's like, "Why are you gonna buy that? Why did you show it to me?"
Yeah. you know it's a hot food thing.
Exactly. And so I bought it, and then it came in, and it literally came with gloves, just like in when they did it. Is do not let this touch your skin. I'm like, so it's gonna touch the inside of my mouth and stomach skin.
Yeah.
And I had my youngest son is 9 years old. Well, he was 9 years old at the time, and I called his mom. I'm like, hey, I'm about to eat this. Adrian wants to eat it too. And she looked at me. She didn't look at me. She was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, oh yeah. So, and I only bought the 1 rind, so I broke them off like a little corner. I broke off a big chunk for my younger son that I do the channel with. And so I had the biggest, gnarliest piece of it. So like they just had enough to give them a taste. You know what I'm saying? Which, to their credit, they both ate it. And then they instantly drank milk, but they were okay right away. You know what I'm saying? No, I went for the full challenge. So I ate the whole thing, waited 5 fucking minutes. I never experienced that kind of heat, I was crying. I was literally tears. To start bawling. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And holy shit, everything came out liquid, everything burnt. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, we use wipes because, like, you know what I'm saying? It gets to a point where you can't wipe, you have to pat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm patting my ass so I don't fucking bleed out my fucking ass from all the fucking roughness. And it's just, that's the aftermath, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck.
Those, everyone needs that every once in a while, though. That's like just to cleanse everything out of you.
Oh my god! Hey, I literally was sweating so hard the whole time that all of a sudden I couldn't sweat no more, and I dried up, and I'm like, this sucks.
Like I can't, like I am like a super basic hot stuff guy. You know what I mean? Like I went to somewhere and they had omelets with poblano peppers, and I don't know how hot those are supposed to actually be, but that was my first experience with eating something that was so hot it made me sweat, and I was like, I like this.
Yeah, definitely. Like we have an assortment of ridiculously hot at this house, and so at any moment in time they get pulled out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're doing this right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's happening.
It's happening. Oh, you thought I was playing, and then I pull out. It's literally a heart-shaped box full of like the hottest hot sauces you can buy in the world right now. People are like, hey, yeah, I would do that. Prove it.
Yeah, that is the thing. Is like everyone says they would until you pull out that box and you're like, well, let's go. Like, I got a wedding tomorrow. I can't. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I don't need to be on the toilet all night long.
Oh, with cramps all night long.
Cramps. Like that's my level of basicness. Like I will go to the grocery store and look at the stuff on the top shelf, and I'm like, you know, the hot sauce area, and I'm like, I'll pick whatever they think is the hottest up there. Like if I have to order it online or go to a specialty hot sauce store, like it's probably something that I'm gonna regret, and I'm like, I tell you, I have gotten to the point to where like I know when I want to eat hot stuff, it has to be on a Friday or a Saturday because I know what happened to me.
I got to do it right when I get off of work because I got to recover.
There is no like midweek like let's get hot and crazy. No.
I just got off of work. Get it ready.
Yeah, I will need all these 72 hours to get back into it.
Because that's how that goes. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. That's why I love you so much, bro. Because like we are on the same page at all fucking points in time.
So what do you have going on the rest of the week, Ben? Like you're off.
Yeah, I'm off for the rest of the year and maybe till February, just going to depend. But like I said, I did so much work at this house, so I can literally sit down and I can't do anything physically. So I plan on, you know, maybe walk once I can move around better. I'll be walking the dog, and then I'm also going to be, you know, watching movies, stacks and stacks of movies. You know what I'm saying? I literally don't have, besides podcasting and content creating. That's all I plan on doing is just watching movies. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we're still on a downspout here where we can't go or do anything. So like I said, it's movies, podcasting, and you know, just enjoying my life here. You know, my wife's sitting here like, "Oh, you're gonna get tired of me?" I was like, "No, you're gonna get tired of me because if I didn't have to go to work, all I want to do is spend all my time with you, and I'm gonna bug you with every single question and every single, are you okay? Are you all right? What's going on?" You know what I'm saying? Every time you turn around and you think I'm not paying attention, I'm going to smack you right in the fucking ass and I'm going to fucking laugh.
We are the same person. Dude, I think you should you should try and just do Angry Dad podcast every day and see if you can rant every day for a month straight.
Oh, no. I already know I can, but it's just, I don't know how much people can handle, you know what I'm saying? Because like one of the things for my Instagram, 20 posts at a minimum a day. You know what I'm saying? So I try to post ridiculous amount of times a day.
So, okay, for us under 500s, is that how you got your Instagram up so high, just posting so much? Because you don't hashtag anything, and I've always found it fascinating.
Well, see, I used to hashtag everything. So, like, before I hit like 10,000 posts, I would hashtag everything, and I would have like a small little laundry list. I would go to my notes, write all my hashtags down, and then copy and paste. Because before on Instagram, because I was on Instagram when it first started, and so when it first started, you were like limited to a certain amount of characters. So I wanted to become branded as not as Angry Dad, but I was branding myself as B to the fourth power. And so branding my B to the fourth power, like I said, I made it every one of my social medias. So what I ended up doing is I would hashtag everything. And then I made my own. I literally have like 5 or 6 hashtags that are specifically me. And so I would hashtag these things in every one of my, did not matter the contents of the picture. I would just throw these hashtags on there. And eventually it got to the point where I created a gravity zone of this is me. This is what you want to see. This is in your wheelhouse. And so once it got to a certain point where I started hitting the snowball, because like I didn't podcast at first when I was all doing was bodybuilding pictures, bodybuilding videos, workout videos, training videos, eating videos. So I used to record everything that I ate, like all 12 meals. Guess what you're going to see all day today? Every 12 of these meals, me eating. You know what I'm saying? And like you'd see my face of torture, like, oh my God. But and so eventually got to a point where I just didn't need to hashtag anything because I was like, I'm happy with the amount of followers I have. So I don't see why I need to put in that much effort. But like when I do post my podcast, I hashtag everything too. Like one of my friends, the guy who did the video with me with the Moab bar, he knows the ins and outs of YouTube's and how the algorithm works. And so what he ended up doing was teaching me how these algorithms work. And so when he did that, I just applied it to my podcast on IG and shit, it works. Like when you post your IG podcast, when you post your Dragging the Table podcast on IG or on not IG, but on Instagram, not Instagram, YouTube. I don't know what the fuck I'm getting it all mixed up for, but put 3 hashtags that you want to be associated with you. And so whatever you name that video, those 3 hashtags will sit above the video title. And so if people just literally look up a hashtag or want to see your other videos, they can literally just click on that hashtag and it'll take you to all that. Yeah. That's it. And if you put a little effort into your what the fuck are they called? The tags, not tags in IG, the thumbnail. You put a tiny bit of effort in there, tweak it a little bit, let the whites of your eyes be seen a little bit more. Boom. That's an instant hit. Right there, you know what I'm saying? There's like all these little tips and tricks that he hit me with, and all I did was apply them to everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like when you post on IGTV, like I said, you can put all the hashtags there too. So like I said, I got a little thing, copy and paste. That's all I do is copy and paste. When I do my videos, I put in the little 3 or 4 words of my description and then copy and paste everything else. All my information, all my tags, all my fucking things, all my sponsors. It's just, a little copy, paste here, and then that's it.
I don't want to start hashtagging again. God dang it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, too, is like I said, you just pick a handful of hashtags, and all you got to do is copy and paste them. Like I said, hashtag untrained eye, hashtag untrained iPod, hashtag untrained podcast, and then, hashtag, UP, you know what I'm saying? Untrained eye, or, I'm saying podcast. So it'd just be, UEI or UEP, and that would be it. And then, those would just be your hashtags. And then, like I said, and then one of the easiest things to do is on Instagram, if you just press in a few letters after the hashtag, it'll automatically pull up what you're thinking of writing. And then you can just push it. You just push it. You push it. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag POD and a podcast will come up. Hashtag podcast to Instagram, podcast live, podcasting live, podcast, podcasters, you know what I'm saying? Or horror podcast, what's happening podcast, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff will pop up.
You're going to make me get back into this again. I
know
it.
That's why I have the followers I have, because I at that moment in time, I was eventually like wanting to become an influencer, and by becoming an influencer, hopefully make some kind of money or revenue out of this. And, I love doing it. So why not get paid to do it? Or at least why not attempt to try to get paid to do it? You know what I'm saying?
And you need to be the influencer. You would be the one influencer that I would agree with being an influencer. Because when I think of Instagram influencer, I think of some nobody doing nothing that's like holding up a bottle of water, where you're like, I will punch through time and space and reach into another dimension. It's the angry dad here.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, too, is like I see those people that are like, and I'm like, you're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why can't that be me? But, I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in the effort, and that's why I do it, is because, like I said, I love it enough to where I'm wanting to do this work. So why not try to get paid? You know what I'm saying? I've reached out to a few sponsors. I've talked to a few people, and I'm like, and I only will sponsor stuff that I 100% agree upon. Otherwise, I wouldn't give a fuck about them. You know what I'm saying? If it's something I don't use, why am I going to fucking sponsor something that I don't use or wear or fucking, relevant to me. You know what I'm saying? Like Blackstone Labs, I've been using their shit fucking forever. You know what I'm saying? There's a completely different brand that I love that would love to be sponsored by. I've been trying to get sponsored by, but sometimes it just doesn't line up.
Well, and that's what I think. Working in construction for so long, like that was one thing that I thought was cool and interesting is that you had a concrete company, CH Concrete, as one of your sponsors, because like that's. Like it's one of those things that like I had a buddy that did he does like outdoor kitchens and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's something that like until someone puts it in front of you, you're like, oh, I do need that, or I know someone that needs a new driveway or whatever it is. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think I like that for I don't think anyone else is doing like construction company sponsors, and B, like it's just a good avenue I feel like to go down, because I imagine is that a small bit, is that just like
it's just a small local business, you know what I'm saying? It's a 3-man crew. They like what I do, you know what I'm saying? So they reached out to me. I'm like, yeah, I fucking got you. You know what I'm saying? You guys I've seen all your work. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would they do nothing but the most highest quality, and they refuse to do anything less. So why would I not want to do that? You know what I'm saying? I've had restaurants reach out to me like, hey, how much this and this and this? And so I'm not asking for a lot of money, but understand that like, sometimes people will sell you short because they don't think you're really doing anything but saying stuff. But they need to understand that, you're paying for my viewerships, my listeners, you're paying for my content that I'm going to put into your, because, like no one tells me what to say. I say it my fucking self. This is all shit that I made up. And this is how I speak is what you're going to get. And a lot of these people that sponsored me, they're like, we like the in your face you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes down to that. And like I said, I'm more than willing to back things up that are the same kind of quality that I would expect,
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, like it's going to be something like I look at it as like this is something that I'm going to. We're basically endorsing it and putting it at the front, like usually at the front of the show to be like, hey, go check this out. Now listen to me doing the thing that I love to do.
Exactly.
So to be associated with that, yeah, it would really like. Don't get me wrong, I would love a huge payday from any company, but if it was someone that I didn't agree with, it would hard to say no, but or maybe I would be like, hey, can I say what I want? Be like, I don't believe in this company at all, but they're paying me $10,000 to say this.
And that's how Bill Burr does it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about me. He's lost so many sponsors. I could give a fuck.
Man, it's so funny because Bill Burr is definitely one that he doesn't have to be sponsored. Like he did it. He's there.
Yeah,
he was in Star Wars, for God's sake.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what I always get a lot too. It's like people have this and this. I was like, hey, you just gotta make sure that you stand for what you like, and you just stay consistent with who you are. And people will reach out to you, but you literally got to do the legwork. You know what I'm saying? I've had beard companies. I've had t-shirt companies. I have all kinds of companies that sponsor me, and they come and they go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's up to them. You know what I'm saying? If they're getting enough revenue from me, great. If they're not, then, it is what it is. I'm like I said, it's just, I'm going to keep doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? Once I got my little 15 minutes down, I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? This shit fucking hits.
Yeah. That is the good thing about what I like doing about the solo part, at least of dragging the table, is like, I can just look over at the clock and be like, this has been going on too long. Goodbye, everyone.
and that's how you got to know how to exit smoothly. You know what I'm saying? They're like, all right. That's one of the things why I always try to hit it with the guess the fuck what, and then I'm out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I meant to ask you, that song that you use at the beginning, is that a real song or is that
it's a real song.
What is it? I'm going to write it down. What is the song? Because I need it.
All right. It's HEP. That's the name of the band. It's H.P. or HEP. There, I'm gonna pull it up right now. As soon as I can figure out how to use my phone.
Always living.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Hey, and it's 100% fucks in every one of the words of that song. That's 100% why it made it to my my list there. Let's see, where the fuck is there's iTunes. Continue. All right, I'll tell you right now.
Wait,
you know,
that up.
yeah.
I'm going to say to everyone listening, Ben is wearing a very nice white Fila-inspired official hat. And
Better say that. Say it.
Yeah, that's ohfishl.com. Go check it out right now. And I am wearing the My Anxiety is Killing Me hat from Sleep Terror Clothing. Go to sleepterrorclothing.com and go check them out right now.
I love them. I love them both. Let's just say Kaz got his shit down right.
Dude, Kaz is a well-oiled machine if there was ever a well-oiled machine.
Exactly.
Do you listen to the Hood Diner?
I do listen to the Hood Diner. I do partake.
That show, I was lucky enough to get to tell him to his face, but also like that show, I feel like every episode is like it's like a produced song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he has got it so down to a science that like what he can do in a couple hours for that show like would take me the day.
Oh yeah.
Because it sounds great. Like he adds all those little I don't know, the additions in. Perfect.
Yeah, he does. You know what I'm saying? He's got it locked down so good. Like I said, it's when I listen to stuff like that, it really fucking makes me fucking like, you know, like that's the right shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I mean, that is the exact thing we were talking about of like you listen to a podcast that is so good and so well produced.
Yeah.
And there is no like he's not getting paid to do that. Like that is his passion to do it. And you're like, oh, okay. If this is what he is willing to do for free, like what am I willing to do for free? Like,
exactly.
Right now I'm putting in the bare minimum. We're doing the thing. We're saying the words. I'm putting the music in the front and in the back. And I might, you know, I don't know, cut out a silence or something, but
yeah.
do extra.
Yeah, no, and he gets it down. And so the song is HED. That's the name of the crew. All right, HED. And the song is called Wake Up.
Wake Up. I think I'm going to listen to that tomorrow morning on my way to work.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's heavily, like I said, when I hear this song, it's exactly how I picture my podcast being. You know what I'm saying? So I had to use it. And somehow I was able to trim it in such a way where it doesn't get me tagged on anything, but it hits every fucking note. Because like right when it starts, it's like, fuck.
You know what I found out too? Like by accident, because have you ever heard of that podcast Kill Tony?
Yeah.
Tony?
Oh yeah. No, I've seen Tony Hinchcliffe so many times.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've gone to the shows all the time. He comes up to the Bay, or you know, before all COVID, we saw him like 3 times. Over here.
Very jealous. Very jealous of that.
So fun.
But he and Brian Redband were talking about the songs that they were playing on that show sometimes. Yeah. And Redband, like, he gave away the best free game I ever heard, which was, he was like, dude, he's like, I use all this copyrighted stuff. He's like, but I either speed it up or slow it down, and we've never gotten tagged on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess that makes perfect sense.
Hey, exactly. If you cut it down just enough, because like I said, I only need mine's is literally an 8-second intro and a 7-second outro. And like I said, it's just enough to where you don't recognize it or it can't be recognized. But if you watch like a lot of the videos and you see, even on TikTok and Instagram, they'll be sound weird because like I said, they slightly speed it up or they slightly slow it down just enough to fucking like, all right, the bots can't catch it.
Yep. Okay, I got to know now. Who was how do I want to ask this? Who was a comedian that you went to go and see that you were, maybe not that you went to go and see, but maybe a comedian that was at a show that you were at that you didn't know or didn't think you would like, and you were like, oh, actually this dude is amazing, or gal.
Oh yeah, we went to go see me and my wife went to go see Bob Saget, and he tours with a guy named Mike Young. And Mike Young is fucking hilarious.
I've heard the name. I might have even heard him talking about Mike Young, because I know I've heard Bob Saget on a couple podcasts.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome, dude. That is
so.
So wait. So was there? Okay, who was your like bucket list comedian that you got to see?
Bill Burr. Bill Burr is my bucket list. My wife took me to go see a show. It was fucking awesome. We've seen so many comedians because, like I said, I love going to rock shows. And I love to go to see these comics play. And my wife's like, Okay, let's go. And so fucking I've never had anybody fucking want to either go listen to heavy metal all day long or fucking, make a trip out to the city to see a hilarious comic, because the laundry list is so large. We've seen Bert Kreischer like 3 times. We've seen Joe Coy, Bill Burr. We've seen Paul Rodriguez is one of my favorite comics. I got to see him on my birthday. Like it's like so crazy that I've seen we just seen Tom Segura's wife. We just seen her.
Oh, Christina.
Yeah, Christina P. Yeah, we just seen her. The list is so long. We just saw what's that guy with the crazy hair? Always got the meme where he shoots people in the fucking office.
Oh, Eric Andre.
Yeah, we saw Eric Andre. You know what I'm saying? We've seen so many Tony Hinchcliffe. Eric Schwartz is one of my favorite quarter Mexican step fucking Jews fucking comedians out there. That guy is fucking great. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, like I said, and they're around here. We have the Sacramento Improv. We have the San Jose Improv. We have Tommy T's. We also have what was the other one? It's there's like 3 different ones in the city, and I can't seem to remember the other one. But it's like an improv over there too. And then we have a small one called the Rooster Feather. So we saw that's what the first time we ever saw Tony Hinchcliffe was at the Rooster Feather, and like it's just. The laundry list goes on. And when we see these comics, and I'm a big hunter of deals. I will literally there's a certain time that you need to start hunting tickets. Always tell people right in March, when March hits, if you got Groupon, if you look on Groupon, concert tickets and comedian show tickets will start popping up in March, April, and you can literally spend like $200-$300 and have your entire summer set up with concerts and comedian shows for like under $20.
See, and that's what sucks is for whatever reason, I got into comedy later on. Like, I think it was only because basically whenever Bert Kreischer's podcast started is whenever I got into any kind of comedy. But like Tampa, I've heard comedians talk about Tampa. They hate the improv for whatever reason it is. They either think it's not well run or whatever, so they don't like going. And the only other club that anybody seems to like is Side Splitters, and that is from where we are right now. That's over an hour away. So
that's how we drive, bro. We do the exact same thing. There is no distance that we will not go to. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, because we live in the city, but the city is only 15 minutes away, but traffic makes it an hour. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And we got public transportation. We have a thing called the BART system around here, and all it is just a train. And so we will drive half an hour to the BART train, ride the BART for another fucking hour to get to where we're going to go, and then walk 4 or 5 miles uphill to get to the show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I officially have no excuse because I said that because I was like, well, it's just too far. Yeah. Clearly, I didn't want it enough.
Yeah. Let me tell you right now, hey, when you want to have a good time, that's what it's about, and we always try to invite people to go with us, but people are so sketchy. I'm like, look, I know what I want to do. I know what we're going to do, and we're going to have a great fucking time. So if these people want to come, great. If not, guess what? We could give a fuck less because we're about to enjoy ourselves. And then when we leave, it's nothing like leaving and reflecting back at what you just heard because you're like, what the fuck just fucking happened? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking great.
Yeah, it's funny that you said you just saw Christina P too, because she came to Side Splitters right before all of the lockdowns happened.
Yep.
And I was on the edge of buying tickets, and I can't remember why we didn't, but you just reminded me that I regret that because I wish we had gone to because who knows when they're going to come back now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what sucks the most because our last comic we wanted to go see was Dan Cummings. He was coming up to the San Francisco area, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna get tickets, and all of a sudden, Rona hit, and that was 100%. Rona hit, canceled. We're not going. Fuck.
And you know what I'm saying? Idaho, right? So.
Oh yeah, he lives in Idaho. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is he even going to come back?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And he's already got the Rona. His wife got the Rona, so they all got sick. But at the same time, everyone's being extra cautious right now. My wife loves Time Suck. She also loves Scared to Death. I just recently bought her that Scared to Death pre-order book. I didn't say a goddamn fucking thing. I just waited for it to show up. I'm like, hey, look what you got. Autographs fucking signed. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome, dude. That is so awesome.
Oh yeah, it's like I said, I'd love because it's just so crazy because like the things I love to do, I didn't figure my wife would like. I was like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. If you want to come, you want to come. If you don't, and she's like, no, I want to do that. I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm a big metalhead. I go to rock concerts every year. Doesn't matter if it's a show, I'm going. And there's the biggest show of the year. It started off as 2 days, then it went to 3 days. It's called Aftershock. But the corona fucking completely shut that down. And we literally spent $500 for both our tickets for the show for 3 days. And then they're like, oh, if you, they're giving us all the options. We can either give you your money back or you can hold on to your ticket for next year. So we hold on our ticket for next year. And the fucking show's going to be fucking 4 days now. So we're literally going to 4 days of metal. We could barely handle the 3. But it's going to be so fun because like we're getting 2 nights of Metallica, Limp Bizkit's going to be there, and all the main fucking like metal people that I love to watch are going to be there, and it's fucking so fun because we get dressed up, we rockabilly'd out, my wife does her hair, I'm fucking dressed in my fucking in my patch vest and fucking we get down, bro.
By the way, I'm not gonna let that slide past. Limp Bizkit at a metal show.
Yeah, hey, Limp Bizkit is rock, bro. It's hardcore. You know what I'm saying?
I do not like. Wait, when Limp Bizkit goes around, are they just picking on the hits, or do they have new stuff?
Nah, they're you just hitting bangers. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you go to a show this big, it's not the time and place to play the new shit. It's time to fucking just let all the bangers hit out because like it's literally a 10-hour day of rock concerts. So as soon as one stage is, because there's like 4 stages, as soon as one stage is down, the next stage is up, the next stage is up, and so fucking it's just like. You do your set, and the like most people get maybe about a half hour to 45-minute sets, and then as it gets later on the night, that's when they start turning them hour sets, and then the main he'll get maybe about an hour and a half to 2-hour sets, and they just get down. So I've seen last year it was Ozzy, Evanescence, fucking it was trying to think of all the fucking names, but we saw Tool, we saw fucking shit, what else did we see? System of the Down came back. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like hearing this, it takes me back. I literally get so, I'm at the age where emotions hit me hard for no goddamn fucking reason. I'll start tearing up. I'll start crying. I've seen older men do this at rock concerts. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this dude? And now I fucking know because that emotion you get from all them years listening to the music, it's just like, what the fuck?
I just imagine you crying in the background. Somewhere between the disorder. You're just like, oh my God, it's happening.
It's happening. It's exactly how it feels, bro. That's exactly how it feels. It's fucking crazy.
By the way, though, can I tell you, I don't know how old you are. I am 37, and I am that way. Like,
I'm 38, bro. So we're at the same age.
Oh, I see commercials sometimes, and I'm like, I know, right?
Exactly. Hey, I take my kids to see Disney movies, bro, and I'm choking up like, what's wrong with me?
How about have you had the pleasure of watching with your kids the movie Onward?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, it
was like, because dude, my dad died early too, so I'm like, oh my God, and he gave him the last moment. Like, what are you doing to me? This is supposed to be like a Dungeons and Dragons kid movie.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, stop tearing on my emotions. I always tell my wife too, every time it's like, it make me cry. It's like, I fucking heard you. You're right next to me.
Do not fuck me.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know, bro. I know. It's the struggle.
And by the way, we're not even 40 yet. So what is going to happen when we're on the cusp of 50?
Hey,
what's that even going to be?
I don't even want to picture it yet because it already hits me hard now.
I don't know, man. It's funny because I don't know if you were like an emotional kid, but I was definitely not. Like
The same here.
I well, I was gonna say I had an emotion and it was anger, and that was it. And then now I'm like, what are these?
Exactly. I grew up in the ghetto, bro, in the hood. I was expected to be a badass out the fucking womb. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with like all my uncles and cousins and everyone who was like the most hardest core gangsters in the fucking hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a reputation that I had to keep up, and I did. You know what I'm saying? I was that guy. I was like, shit's going down. Ben was there. Ben handled it. Ben got it down. Ben beat that guy up. You know what I'm saying? I fucking, you know what I'm saying? So like, I learned at a young age how to shut it off.
Yeah, it's crazy though, because like, it feels. Well, do you feel like better now that you can have the full range?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude,
it is much more of a better all around feeling because I'm not just this monster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get to a point to where you feel a little like you're like, am I a sociopath? Like, what is happening? Why? And I will tell you though, I don't know about you, but that will get me in trouble still because I have that in me to just be like, well, there's that emotion switch. I need to turn that off right now so we can get through this. And I feel like some people think that I am at least slightly sociopathic because I will just be like, okay, don't have time for emotion right now. Let's go.
And that is me. So sometimes I got to remind myself of like, oh, I'm a real person. You know what I'm saying? I can't just go from 0 to 60 in front of everybody because, you know what I'm saying? People are about to get scared and call the cops.
Exactly.
Hold on a second. I'm going to turn this light on a little bit. I just noticed that it's getting dark. There we go. Like one of the things is like, sometimes my wife's all like, I always see all these videos because watching TikTok, I see like people, oh, crazy neighbor this, crazy neighbor that. And the thing is like, I don't have any crazy neighbors, but sometimes I wish I did so I can project my thoughts and feelings onto these people and to make them to understand like, oh, I thought I was crazy. This motherfucker's out for blood. You know what I'm saying? Like I will go outside, you know what I'm saying? And like, I typically at the house, no shirt, walk around in my shorts with my fucking flip-flops on in the house and do chores and fucking cut grass and all that shit. And so I see the neighbors looking at me because I'm tatted back from head to toe. You know what I'm saying? So right away, that scares people. You know what I'm saying?
It's just funny that is still a thing that makes people freaked out. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, like maybe it's because it's become more like accepted, but like I see some face tattoos that I'm like, I want that. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of them look like, because when you think of face tattoo, you think of a guy who just looked over at his friend and was like, dude, we could order a tattoo gun off Amazon and then they just tattoo each other's faces. Exactly. But like some of them look good.
Oh yeah. No, it's the name of the game now. Like tattoos are so mainstream and so like portraying of a certain thing, but like when you have prison style tattoos all over your body, it's a little bit of a different thing. When people can see that you got like my tattoos are all demons and monsters and fucking like all kinds of Aztec fucking skeleton shit and fucking, you know what I'm saying? It just looks like I have murder written all over me.
Okay, so here's what's crazy is like I knew a guy who was like very much obsessed with Disney. Like he was you if you were not obsessed with working out. Like he was just this big, gigantic, imposing dude, but he was just like kind of a slob. And he was tatted all over the place, but it was all Disney characters. It was all Disney characters, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, dude, I just love Disney. Like, he was the guy that he would go every weekend. They had the season passes. If he was taking time off of work, it was to go spend the weekend at Disney. And it was just, I don't know, man. Like tattoos could be intimidating, I guess, but a dude with nothing but Disney tattoos, not intimidating.
Yeah, and that is the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you see these professionally well done tattoos, that lets you know that person had money and he paid for what he got. But when you got something that looks grimy, not sharp, and it's got that slight tint of the green, you're like, oh, Okay.
Expected before it was completely done.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it tends to what's called. You know, what's funny too is like my wife. This is how I've always looked with all the tattoos and stuff like that. But after she's gotten to know me, she's like, I don't see you doing any of these things. I'm like, yeah, I know. I can see you being like this, but I don't see you doing any of these things anymore. I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? I did a lot of growing.
As you would say, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Hey, it was funny too, because like how you just said, oh, when you two buddies order some tattoo gun and do tattoos. The guy that did the majority of my tattoos would leave his equipment at my house because a lot of my tattoos were just done at my house, and so he started teaching me how to tattoo. All right. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's showing me how to hold the gun, how to stencil, how to shade, all this stuff. So I did a couple of tattoos of myself on myself. And then one day I'm drinking a 40. One of my buddies comes over, he's drinking a 40. And he was like, man, I want to get a tattoo. And I was like, man, I want to do a tattoo. And so I literally tatted him up within the matter of like 3 days. I did leg tattoos, a big, huge back tattoo, a chest tattoo. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
What did they look like?
They were decent. They weren't perfect, but a free tattoo is a free tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Because like I did a big tribal phoenix. I did some letters. I did like all this kinds of stuff. And then I did so many tattoos on him that one day we're having a party and his uncle came over, and his uncle has his rose with like a long ribbon, and he's always wanted to get my kid's name tattooed on there. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm already drunk. He's drunk. My boy's drunk. And so I'm tattooing these names on there. And I literally had one of his daughters just in a pen write the names in the spots. And then they were bullshitting like, oh, yeah, let's just put a question mark at the end because you never know if I have more kids. I'm like, all right, cool. So I tatted him up. And I asked him, you sure you want me to do this question mark? Fuck yeah. So I do the question mark. And in the morning, he's like, why'd you do a question mark? He told me to. That's on you.
Well, you know what's funny is even if you pay for the tattoo, I knew this girl in high school that her mom had died when she was a kid and her dad died like while we were all in high school still. And she wanted to get this, I think it was like an infinity symbol that had the year that her mother was born and died and father was born and died. And homeboy messed up the years.
Oh,
like tattooed the wrong numbers on there.
Yes, that does happen.
Going somewhere and getting paying the person to do it. Like the guy drew the thing out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you had to look at it to be like, oh, I like it.
It's just I do want to get it. I do want to get my big thing. I don't know why. I do want to get tattoos, but like I have this thing where I would really want to get one on my hand or like you see like right across here. Like I don't know what. But like, I don't know why I don't even know if that would look good on me, but I want it so bad.
Well, I'll let you know. It hurts a lot right there because, you know what I'm saying? My hands are tatted up. And now check this out. This is a funny story because I have my kids' initials on my fingers. And an old saying back in the day when we were kids was, you're bad, eh? So we'd all drunk and everyone's saying something. I'm like, oh, you think you're bad, eh? Like that, literally, like, hey, like really put that Chicano on it. You know what I'm saying? You're bad, eh? And so my kids' initials ended up being that. So on my three fingers here, it says bad. And then on my other finger, it says A. So I always put them together. You think you're bad, eh?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like my dream would be to like have something that went like on the whole forearm and went on to here and just I don't know. I just don't know what it would be though. Because I feel like I'm not like I don't look like finger, hand tattoo guy. And that's the thing of it too. Like, some of those people with face tattoos, the reason it looks good on them is because it looks good on them.
Yeah.
Like you could get the verbatim same exact thing on your face and you're going to look like a moron. So,
and that's how the tattoos fit the body. You know what I'm saying? And this is, I'll give you my little tip on getting tattoo. When you go get a tattoo, first of all, You need to be 100% confident in the just don't go to any tattoo parlor. Oh, that looks good. It's like, no, every tattoo artist has a portfolio. Yeah. You go through the whole portfolio. You see, okay, I like this. I like this. I like this. I just like this style. So you definitely have to make sure you pick the style that you like, the what you want it to look. And then if they vibe with you, then you get a good feeling of like, that's what I want. And see, like all my tattoos were, this is my idea, but what can you do with it? And so that's just all you got to do. You got to throw it because they're the artist. They're the person who can, think outside the box. They're the one that can take it in the weird direction you want it to go in or in the structured direction you want it to be and make it flow that way. So, once you find a person that's you're definitely on the same page with and that you're feeling really good about. And like I said, you got to pick and fucking, because anybody can say they can fucking tattoo. Anybody can say that I do this and I do that. Like, nah, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I can do a fucking tattoo because I did 3. You know what I'm saying? I did 4. You know what I'm saying? I need to really, I've beaten somebody up over a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's just, you need to, make sure that, the person's on the same level and wavelength as you. And then you can trust them enough to be like, all right, go with it. You know what I'm saying? Make something out of this. Like, this is what I'm thinking. What can you do with that? And then when you find that right person, guess the fuck what? You can go that way,
I think I'll know that I find the right person when I tell them exactly what I want and where I want it. And that, like, this is what I'm looking for. The person to go, I don't think that would look good on you. Because I want you to be like, okay, like, you can see me. I can't look at me the same way you can look at me. Like, what is going to look right on me?
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the things when I started doing my tattoos, I was like, look, I want my shit to look like you need to go to church after you look at it. My tattoo artist was like,
okie dokie.
You know what I'm saying? I can make that happen. You know what I'm saying?
That is awesome. I feel like you are a tattoo artist's dream. You're like, listen, make me repellent. And they're like, I got you.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want evil? I can give you evil. Goddamn, bro. 2 hours, 12 minutes, man.
Dude, we do not play around.
Not at all. Fucking shit. We need to save a little bit for next time.
I say this could be the 2-parter.
The 2-parter. Well, let people know where they can find you. Give them your social medias, all that bullshit.
You can find me and my wife Beth on the Untrained Eye podcast on all social media at Untrained iPod. And I do a solo show called Dragging the Table that is going to be around again, like it's been gone for like the past 3 weeks, but it will be back. And that is, did I say it? Dragging the Table podcast and at Table Dragger on Twitter and Instagram, I think is the 2 places I'm at with that.
Oh, yeah. That's the spot. And like I said, check out his page, check out his podcast because I enjoy it. And I know you all enjoy it. So if you like listening to me, you'll definitely like listening to them.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And I'm the Angry Motherfucking Dad. Thank you for listening. So guess the fuck what? You want to watch this shit? IGTV, YouTube. You want to listen to shit? Spreaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, SoundCloud, Deezer, iHeartRadio. This motherfucker's everywhere. You can easily fucking find it. Rate, review, like, subscribe, all that fucking bullshit. It really helps me out. I'm part of the SIP Network, slightly regular podcast network. Group of powerful podcasters out there putting our shit together, sharing our shit, getting out there. Also, too, blackstonelabs.com. Be the 4th power at checkout. Get yourself hooked up on some supplements. You're trying to get jacked. You're trying to get straight. You're trying to put on muscle. Trying to lose weight. Trying to look good. Guess the fuck what? They can help you. And you get 20% off your entire order with Be the 4th power at checkout. blackstonelabs.com. Also, too, CH Concrete serving the San Francisco Bay Area. That is CH Concrete serving the San Francisco Bay Area. Just mention Angry Motherfucking Dad, and they'll take care of you. And DJ, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ben. I love you, man.
I love you too, brother. All right, and I'm gonna just hit stop recording.
Me too.
Oh, damn it! I no longer got a touch screen, so I keep trying to touch it.